Okay, so the credits are just rolling
But
still.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Oh.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his
I hear like
responsibility?
rain. Is
He
this
had never been trained for that.
another
No.
ending?
This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can
The
be
credits
happy
just rolling.
forever. I will be happy.
So
Stanley waited.
I didn't even realize
Hours
this was
passed,
another way
then
to.
days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He
Okay.
will be spoken to.
So we're
He
just
will be
locking ourselves
told
in our
what to
office.
do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh. And then it just fades to black. Okay, so so many
I can't wait
endings.
to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we
Does
all
that paper
just
always
laugh
put on the
and
ground?
laugh at the time we thought
So
everyone had gone missing.
now what we're gonna do? I don't know. Am I going the right way? I keep turning myself around. Now what we're gonna do? Okay, we're going the right way.
When Stanley came
So
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
now what we're gonna do, as far as I know, we need to go through the left door. Everything should be quote unquote normal like the very first time we played through it. But this time around, I'm not gonna listen to Mr. Narrator. I'm just gonna go ahead and do everything opposite of what he says. I feel like everything should be good. I don't know if I did that. I don't think I did that the first time around. Or what we just experienced. Because when we got to the staircase.
Decided to go up to his boss's office.
Yeah, earlier.
Even coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
So instead, we're gonna
boss's
walk
office.
down. We're not gonna listen to what this man says. Okay, so we're gonna go through here.
But Stanley
Oh, we're in, like,
just
the
couldn't do
garage.
it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting
Yeah,
he had
we don't
left
like
his
that.
post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Where are we
All
going?
because he believed everyone had vanished.
You
His
guys hear
boss
that
would
clicky
think
of
he
the
was
keyboard?
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I think I
All of
am.
my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for
Whoa,
no
we're just
reason
going
at
to-
all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Like I'm
For
going in a
example,
circle.
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh
Why did
my.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah, why is
And
that?
for that matter, these rooms
can I
were
get in
starting
this
to look
car?
pretty familiar. Were
Drive
they
away?
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't
This
be
is
real.
not normal.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
One, two,
I'm
before.
dreaming! He yelled.
I
This
do
is all a
think
dream.
There is something up with these
What a
posters, I
relief
think.
Stanley felt
But I forgot
to
what's
have
up with
finally
them.
found an answer, an
I
explanation.
think there's something you can
His
do.
co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't
There's no
going to
clock
lose
now.
his job.
Or
He
no, maybe
wasn't
I'm in the wrong
crazy
place.
after all.
I thought there's a clock
He
there.
thought to
Oh no, the
himself,
clock's up
I
here.
suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Am I supposed to
may
do
as well
something?
enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying
Exit.
and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa,
Then
I'm
he
flying.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Whoa,
And Stanley
in
marveled
space
that he had
now.
still not woken up. How was
Yeah,
he
we're just
then
lucid
being so
dreaming.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
How do I
One
get
he
out of
was
here?
amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
That's the question I need to
Why
ask.
is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Wait a second
now.
now.
The voice was describing itself.
Yeah,
being
now
considered by
this is
Stanley,
like
who found
breaking
it particularly strange.
like 12
I'm
different
dreaming
walls.
About a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts. He thought.
What is this? Is
And
giving me
while
a
he thought it
headache
all
now.
very odd, and wondered if
This
this
is
voice
odd.
spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course,
Isn't this just my
this
conscience
was
speaking?
not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing
this-
that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now
as
he'd
I've ever been.
in his life.
Yep.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Now I
After
don't know if I'm
all, he knew
stuck
for
in
certain,
here.
beyond a doubt, that this was in
I'm just
fact
going
a
around.
dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would
Get me
prove
out
it.
of here.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he
Okay.
invited himself to wake up.
Okay, wake up,
He
Stanley.
felt the cool weight
Wake
of
up,
the
Stanley.
blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Was
Let
this
me
really
wake up,
all just a
he
dream?
thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
I wish
Let
it
me
to
go
be
back
over.
to my
He
job.
says.
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
And we're coming to now.
Stanley began screaming.
Oh no, we're back here.
Someone wake me up. My name is
Oh
Stanley.
gosh.
I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real.
Oh,
I must
goodness
be. Can anyone
gracious.
hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wait.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She
Can't just throw a
rose, got
curveball at
dressed,
me like this.
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh my.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh god, that's
Though she would
us.
soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my
I
life.
am sane. Believe
I
me.
know what is
You
real
must believe
and
me.
what isn't. It was comforting to think
So we
this,
ended up just
and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
walking. What?
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then
And
she turned
dipped.
and ran.
Interesting. So we ended up just walking around the street, talking crazy, collapsing dead. Interesting. Okay, so now we're back. Wait, whoa, this is completely different now. Oh, now we're just coming
When
straight to the
Stanley came
chase.
to a set of two open
So-
doors, he entered the door on his left.
So what I think I can do now, I hope I don't have to restart anything to do it to get the full effect. I'm gonna go through the right door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
Okay,
knew
so far
perfectly
so
well.
good.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Right,
just
that's
to
what we're doing.
admire it.
Now we're gonna listen to what the
The
narrator says,
lounge
though.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
There's so many. I think we can even go through the left door and make it to the part where, right before we get to the mind control facility, there's like an escape. Spoiler, I don't think we actually escape, obviously. It's not actually an escape, but I think we can go through that as well and get a,
And so he detoured
another
through the
fact,
maintenance
another
section,
ending.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
Oh,
and
that's-
got back on track.
That's a whole nother thing we can do. There's so much. There's so many little things like that in this game that you can do. Oh, did we just do like a? Oh, this is the left door. Oh, so now we're back on track. Okay, I see.
Yet there was not a single person here.
Well, I'm gonna see how
either.
this gets us,
Feeling a
or
wave
where
of
this
disbelief,
where we
Stanley
end up this
decided
way.
to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming
So
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can't remember. I can't remember what happened when we got down. I'm gonna go up though, and see if there's anything we can manipulate up here. If there's anything that we can do to kind of change the outcome. So far, this is normal.
The moment he entered his manager's office,
I think we can get it
Stanley
in through.
froze in his tracks.
What was it, like
Not a living
2548?
soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too
2458.
much for any man to take. He
What was
fell
it?
to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs.
Oh, maybe this is
the
different.
guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going.
There's
Here on the
no.
floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he
We can
began to
crouch.
move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What
We've
could it
seen
mean?
this.
Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not.
Is there a
For
different
although
number this time
keypad
around?
guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
2845. That's what it was.
Statistically, nearly impossible, yet incredibly,
Okay,
by
there we go.
simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
I love.
Stanley happened to input the correct code.
I love the
Sheer
use of the
luck.
keypad in this.
Amazing.
How
He
they just
stepped
act
into the
like
newly opened passageway.
you just press random buttons to get it. Okay, I don't think. Is there any sort of exit? There is not. But what we can do, well, I can't see now. What we can do is we can continue going down here. Instead of going through the mind control facility, at this point we can now actually go through the exit or the escape, I believe. So let's make our way through here.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Yeah.
Mind Control
So instead
Facility.
of doing this, because we've already done this, we've seen the ending in which we listen to the narrator, but now we're gonna go through escape. 'cause
Although
we wanna
this
get out of
passageway
here.
had the word escape written on it, the
It's
truth
not an
was
escape,
that
is
at
it?
the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Would we really? Do we really die this way?
The
I
door
mean,
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
we can do that, but
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly
we're making the
confront his
choice.
death.
Oh gosh, we're willingly going forward. Is this where we die? That is indeed where we die. All right then. Ooh, we're still going. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Oh, I see what's
it
happening.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Can't just hide in
Stanley
here.
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow
I mean, I guess
vision
it doesn't
of
matter
what
either way.
is. Perhaps
We're
his
getting
death would have
squished.
been a loss, like plucking the
Destroyed.
eyeballs from a blind man.
We're gonna
So
get
he
destroyed.
signed and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Alright, let's just face it.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley
Huh?
was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Who's
In a
this?
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Really? Okay, well, I'm just typing on my keyboard now. Is this really the case? Hello? I don't really know what to do. I mean, is this it? Is this just how it ends? Like this? I'm just stuck here?